Welcome to the Fundamentals Talk Show. I am your host, David, and today we have an a really amazing pool of personalities with us today. Who are they? Carolina,
Hi everyone.
Maria Clara,
Thank you, David, for inviting today.
and Laura. These three empowered women are very important in the field of media, especially when it comes to media manipulation, about which we will hear a lot today.
We are very excited to be here today. The topic of media manipulation is very important. It's something that is happening every day and that everyone should be aware of.
It is. But many people, including me, might not know what it is all about. Would you mind talking a little bit about it, please?
Sure thing. Well, to be honest, media manipulation is challenging so much every day. And I don't know if the definition is very accurate, but media manipulation is a series of related techniques in which manipulators create an image or plots that feature their particular interest.
Well, I am more confused than I was 10 seconds ago. Are you familiar with the English language?
Let me put it like this. Imagine being shown media that will give you, the viewer, to what the publisher of that media wants you to do.
So, should I tell our media team to stop advertising the show now?
Not at all. It is a simple advertisement. Normally, media manipulators, that's what we call them, implement techniques such as logical fallacies, psychological manipulations, disinformation, theoretical and propaganda techniques that misguide the receipt of the information.
Very professional. Would you mind telling the public what each of these are?
Sure thing, it is another opportunity for people to be more prepared against these manipulators. A logical fallacy is an error in result common enough to warrant a fancy name. Knowing how to spot and identify fallacies in the principal skills. It can save your time, your money, your personal dignity. Psychological manipulation is a type of social influence that aims to change the behavior or the perception of other thoughts, indirect, deceptive, and underhand tactics. Disinformation is false or misleading in a number of propaganda techniques based on social psychological research used to generate propaganda. Many of these same techniques can be classified as logical fallacies. These propagandists use arguments that, while sometimes convinced, are not necessarily valid. Information that is spread deliberately to decide.
Those are great examples. One question. Since when has this been a part of everyone's life?
Since always. However, the topic wasn't really talked about until the early 60s, especially after the Daisy's commercial that ran only, but was the most controversial presidential campaign publicity. Since then, the topic has been studied a lot more. Some people study how to apply it, and some others study how to prevent it. If there's anyone interested in reading a bit more about the topic, in 2002, the French writer Sylvain Timsit published a decalogue of the strategies that are most frequently used by the media and the political elites to manipulate the masses.
Well, even though they laughed, I bet there's going to be more than one person that after the show is going to go and read the Decalogue.
And believe me, even more will after they hear this.
Something very interesting is how media manipulation is slightly different between perception and reality. The media was the long access source of information for the public, Today, all the barriers that made the rainbow have broken down. Yet the old perception remains. For example, if a random log is held as reliable as a New York Times article that was fact-checked, edited, and reviewed by multiple editors, it's twice as easy to get covered on. So manipulators play the volume game. We know that if we can generate enough online buzz, people will assume that where there is smoke, there is fire, and that unreal becomes real.
I know we're running out of time, so let me ask one last question. Don't worry. This topic that Mary Clara brought up, how do they achieve it?
They achieve it in different ways. Some ways are creating distractions in which manipulators divert the public's attention from important issues. Some other techniques are creating problems and then offering solutions, appealing to the emotions trying to keep people from thinking critically. Some others even go further, making receivers blame themselves for their misfortune because of the failure of their intelligence, their abilities, or their efforts. These are only a few examples that come to mind right away, but believe me, people studying how to manipulate the media and get to you will come up with a million of new techniques every year.
Wow, just wow. Everyone, that was it for today. Let's give a big round of applause for these three masterminds. Well, that was it for today on the Fundamentals Talk Show. See you next week. And until then, take care, have a great week, and stay safe. Goodbye.